Welcome to Wizards Supercoach Round 2 review. This week was a little better. I guess after last week's carnage, there's only one way to go, and that's up. A little bittersweet. It's not too bad of a score, but it could have been a whole lot better considering I had to field a donut because of Max Gawn. Now, he's my favourite player outside of the Crom, so that one stings a little extra. But yeah, I'm not too unhappy. I've managed to go up 22,000 ranks. And yeah, as you can see, 41,000 better this week by round rank. So can't complain too much, but again, it's bittersweet. So let's see how the team went. So Doherty on 73 was an interesting one. He just didn't look to be near the ball. I don't know what's going on with him exactly, because he didn't light the world on fire in round 1 either. He was meant to be getting midfield time, which is why I picked him. I thought he'd start off big, and out of the 600k defenders, he was going to be probably the most unattainable after a while, but it hasn't panned out that way. I'm not looking at chopping him or anything, that's just ridiculous. Got to back the primos in. But yeah, 90 is a tiny bit worrying, I guess. But yeah, I'm sure he'll bounce back. McGovern, he is doing so well. Now, that score as well is really good considering that he was on the bench for, I think, about the last 10 minutes of the game. So he likely would have ended up on about 130 or something. For his price, I'm stoked with what he's done so far, averaging 112. Obviously last week I had the VC on him and he didn't quite get a good enough score, which I actually should have taken because Laird let me down even more as captain. But yeah, he's been a really good pick, probably better than I expected. And then Jack Bowes I bought in 5 minutes before the game, so that was why I didn't do a trade video last week, because I didn't do my trades until 5 minutes before the Geelong game. So Bowes was on like 50 or something at quarter time, and he's obviously ended up on 108. But his second and third quarters are really quiet because Chris Scott kind of threw the team around, as he does. I know there's a lot of Tanner Bruin owners out there unhappy. But yeah, Bowes in the last quarter looked like he was Geelong's best inside mid, so hopefully he stays there or he stays taking the kick-ins, because he didn't take any kick-ins after quarter time, I think, as well. But yeah, pretty happy with how he turned out. I just had a good feeling about him. Geelong really like their Swiss Army knife type players, and Bowes is definitely one of them, can kind of play anywhere. So hopefully he can lock down a permanent spot in the team and keep up with that average. Although I don't expect him to go that high, but for that price, real happy with that. And so at that time when I bought him in at the end of the Geelong game, I was thinking that this round was going great so far. I was feeling on top of the world. And then Friday night, when Gawn went down, there wasn't enough whiskey, Craig David, or kebabs in the world to make me feel better. So I had to turn to a succulent Chinese meal, and that settled me down a bit. But yeah, Jinby, he was pretty good, 76. He looks like a bit of a Clary clone from his first year. The kid's just built like a brick shithouse, and yeah, he's doing really good. If he can just stay around that 80 average, I'll be stoked. Not much to say about him because everyone has him. McKenna, 78. Again, if he can just hover around that 80, 85 average, I'll be stoked with him too. Doesn't look like he's a sub risk now or anything. I know Fagan's pretty happy with him, so that obviously goes a long way. And then Constable, he's a bit of an annoying one. So the 67's not too bad considering his price, but he gets a lot of the ball. He just burns it, and Champion Data was, I thought, a little unfair to him today. So it seemed like when he got around the 50-point mark, he would jump up a few points by getting the ball, and then it seemed like a minute later they'd just take the points off him for no reason, and he just hovered around 50 for like a whole quarter. I'm not sure why. It's not like he was even getting the ball in the times that they were taking the points off, so they weren't clangers or anything. But yeah, champion data do some weird shit. You just got to roll with it. Sometimes it goes in your favor. Bont and Heaney owners would know that one. And yeah, I think Hunter Clark got burnt today. Or sorry, yesterday as well. So yeah, so you win some, you lose some. Wilmot 68, really good for the bench. Just want him to continue pumping out solid 60s. It would be really good for the cash gen. I'm not looking to put him on the field unless Constable loses his spot. Then I might have to do something. But yeah, I'm hoping Constable's not going to be in the team for too long anyway. Cowan 51, same as Wilmot. If he can keep pumping out 50, 60, he should make the cash that's needed. So that's alright. I'm not too worried about the bench players. They're all going to make some money. It's not as important either. Now we got the 36 trades. So, well, I've only got 33 anyway. Went the trade boost this week. Thought I was playing catch up because I was ranked so low after the first round disaster. But yeah, I'm not unhappy with that because all the trades paid off pretty well. So obviously Bose came in for Jones, and Jones wasn't too bad, but after seeing him get 5.5, I just don't want that in my team at all. So Laird bounced back big time. I thought he would. 147, vice captain, gotta lock that in. He was just tackling and, back to doing what he does. Not much to say there other than anyone that doubted him and traded him out, you're insane. Like, there's a reason why he was the top price player from last year. You don't get that by accident. And Lockie Neal, he's another weird one like Doherty. So you'd see 100 as his score, and people would be happy with a ton. But then you think, well, it's Lockie Neal. Why is he averaging 97? Why is he, why did he only get 100? I don't know. He just looks a little bit off. Maybe it's because Dunkley's there and he's not trying to do everything himself. I'm not sure. But definitely not looking to trade him. I'm sure he'll bounce back. He usually starts hot and he hasn't. But I guess he can't do it every year. So back in the primos, he'll come good. Bont 125. He was pretty quiet at the start. He looked like he might have even been injured. And Bevo played him forward, which was just stupid. I can't stand Bevo as a coach, especially from a Supercoach point of view. And even from non-Supercoach point of view, I don't know what the hell he's doing. Like, their list is so good, and he's making them play like a bottom 4 team. There's just no game plan. I think their midfield might be a tiny bit overrated, to be honest. There's bigger names in there than what the output actually suggests. But yeah, Bont, he's not overrated. He's the Dogs midfielder that I would have in my team. So I bought in Cogs, obviously 5 minutes before the Geelong game as well. And Sam Berry was out, which turned out to be a really good choice because Berry didn't bounce back this week. He got 55 or something like that. So the Cogs was also a little bit frustrating because he was around the 50 mark at quarter time. And he was pretty quiet for the rest of the game, like just kept burning the ball and stuff. But yeah, the whole GWS team, they struggled against West Coast, which is odd because West Coast suck, and I can't believe the Crom lost to GWS. So maybe the heat played a factor with GWS today, like the short turnaround and stuff. I don't know. Crom just suck. Tom Green obviously was expecting bigger from him as well, and again, like Canelio, you can't complain. If they get the ton, that's okay. Especially at Green's price. He can't knock out 130s every week. So, that's fine. And to be honest, I was pretty happy overall with my midfield. I only had the one sub-ton, which was Mackenzie. So yeah, can't complain too much. And Hopper bounced back big time, 119. I thought he might, considering Crom midfield is pretty one-dimensional, and as we saw last week, once the opposition gets on a roll against them, they can't stop them out in the midfield, and I think that's partly to do with the coach, but get to that another time. And Hopper got injured as well, like rolled his ankle. It looked pretty bad, but he came back out too and just rolled on with his score as he was, so I wouldn't be worried about next week with him with the injury, so that's a good thing. And Ashcroft, he showed why he was so highly touted in the preseason. He looked like the player he was meant to be, unlike the week before. 105, that's really, really good. Um, Now, yeah, he's at the 80 average. Hopefully, he can get up a little bit from there. But if he can hover around there, 80 to 90, that's really good. So, yeah, you can't expect the rookies to get 105 every week, but just hopefully not 55. And then, as I said, McKenzie, the only sub ton in the midfield, 52. He wasn't too bad. You're going to get weeks like that with him. Rookies are inconsistent. Still an average of 72, so he can keep that up. He'll make the required money. That's all good. I'm still happy to field him. He's going to get plenty of opportunity. Hawthorn don't look like they're going to be any good at all this year. Possibly tanking for the Harley Reid pick, apparently. I don't know what you'd call it, but yeah, they're not going to win many games. And then Oscar Baker, he had a better week. 55, that's fine for the bench. Kicked a goal, I think, again. So I don't think he's going to get dropped. A lot of people are saying he's going to get dropped, but I don't think so. Bevo seems to like him, but I guess you never know with Bevo because Bevo's an idiot. Chesser, he looks shocking. If I didn't have other problems, I'd be getting rid of him. He got subbed, so possibly get dropped next week. Hopefully not. Even if he does and he scores another... Sorry, even if he plays and he scores like another 25 odd, he's pretty much dead. He's not going to make much money, so I'll have to get rid of him eventually. Or if he gets dropped, I might eventually use him as the loophole. See how Samson Ryan goes, and Madden might become Ryan, and Chesser can be the loophole. I don't know. Not this week, though. And then Davey, he started out really hot and just completely ran out of ticker. Like, he's not fit enough for the level yet to run out a full game, so he's a real sub-risker now. But yeah, again, that's okay. We'll deal with that when it comes. 51 average, if he keeps that up, is fine. He'll make the money. I'm just worried about him keeping his spot in the team. Hobbs did well in the VFL, so he could be taking that spot pretty soon. And then, yeah, Max Gawn, really bloody sad. It could have been worse. There was talk he may have done his ACL. So, yeah, it was just the MCL in the end, and I think it was just a strain. So he's 4 to 6 out. But he's got to go now because I'm starting from a long way back and trying to chase a big deficit. So I can't afford to carry him, especially when I'd have to replace him with Radigalia, which I'm not. No way, I'm not doing that. Then Ryan Marshall bounced back 129. He looked really good. Back to his best. I don't think many rucks are going to score heaps well against Shrek this year, like he didn't last week, but 80 against Shrek was okay. As I said last week, they kind of cancelled each other out, so I'm not too worried. I think he'll be fine from here. At that price, he's a steal. Dunkley 117. He just quietly goes about his business. You don't really notice him, but the points just keep going up. So 112 average, he's fine. Just lock him in and, yeah, reap the points. And Taranto, he's pretty much where I thought he would be, like just under 100 average. He's got the potential to go higher, but he has to clean up his disposal efficiency. It's just hack kick after hack kick, and Hopper's a bit the same. So yeah, but yeah, Taranto's doing fine. Like for what you pay, you know what you're gonna get out of him. He's consistent. He's the main man now at Richmond. I'm not going to complain about a 95. Golden was lucky he didn't get tagged by McGuinness. 107, that's fine. 111 average for that price. He's pretty comparable to McGovern right now, so I'm stoked with the two of them. Golden I wasn't so hot on. I got him at the last minute, right before the season started, so happy I did that because I'd be missing out on a few points. I got rid of Rosie to get Golden, and so far it's paid off because Rosie again was sub 100. So I know it's only like, what, 30 or 40 points difference so far, but that's okay. Now, Flanders was terrible. He looked gassed by the third quarter. He doesn't seem to get to the right spots. Admittedly, Gold Coast were shocking, but he's not going to stay in my team. I'm going to swap him with Cogs. So Cogs will go forward, Flanders into the midfield. I'm not sure which ruck I'm going to get yet. So, yeah, I'll talk about the trades at the end. But yeah, Flanders was shocking. He didn't have the last quarter resurgence like he did last week. I guess it wouldn't kill Stewie Dew to put some different players through the midfield at times. They look a bit one-dimensional. It's always just Rao, Anderson, and Took. And I don't expect their younger players to develop too much when it's just those three taking all the mid-time. But anyway, Sheasel was amazing again, 114 both weeks. He was the other one I got in. I got rid of Fife even before I knew he was injured because he was shocking in that first week, and I'm not taking the risk there. And that one paid off. So all three trades this week absolutely paid off. All three players tunned. One missed, and the other two scored pretty bad. So major gains there. Pedler, though, was a real letdown. He could have had a good score, but his goal kicking was disgusting. He missed a couple of easy ones, and I think it rocked his confidence a bit. And Crom really played one good quarter, and that was the third quarter. So apart from that, it's pretty hard for him playing that half forward role. And I've noticed that his time on ground it's not heaps low, but it's not really ideal. So hopefully as the season goes on, he starts to get more time on the ground. I'm not looking at trading him yet, but if he turns up, another sub 40 or even a sub 50, then yeah, I'll have to look at getting rid of him. There's just not a lot to get. Maybe Chandler instead of him, but I'm not sold on Chandler's job security, whereas Pedler's pretty safe. Like, Nix absolutely loves him, and if he's there, he's at least a chance to score. Whereas, yeah, if Chandler's out of the team, you're not getting nothing, even though he's scoring better. So, anyway, Radaglia, he looks good in patches, and then most of the time he just looks lost. He's only there, I think, because Geelong's backline is just decimated with injuries. And the good things he does, unfortunately, like really good spoils and stuff, they just don't translate to Supercoach points. So he's actually doing worse than I expected. And the funny thing is, I had him in the team really only for ruck cover. But because he played first and then Gawn got injured, I couldn't even set him as emergency in the ruck. So just bad luck there. Fergus Green, I guess I'll keep him. He's doing okay. He also could become Chandler. But yeah, I don't know what to make of him. He's a forward in a shitty team. I guess you're just going to get scores like this. Again, he could have, like Pedler, he could have had a pretty good score. I think he had 4 shots at goal, but he missed all of them. So if he starts putting those through, he might put in a couple of good scores and then start making some good money. But yeah, that's how it went. I'm not too disappointed. I'm not stoked. Had Gawn played, I would have got a pretty decent score. But it just seems to be the way this year is. It's just absolute carnage. And all the casuals are doing so well. It's hard to watch. But anyway, so moving forward, as I said, I'll be trading out Gawn. I'm not sure which ruck I'll get. One of the positives about starting Gawn is that I can go to any ruck I want now, like literally anyone. And then I'll probably go for one of the cheaper guys, like maybe Cameron or someone. He's on fire. And Collingwood don't look like they're being stopped anytime soon. And then yeah, I'll swap Cogs into the forward line, Flanders into the middle, and Flanders will probably become maybe a Setterfield pending injury news. Because he was holding his groin or whatever right at the end of the game, so that's a bit of a worry. And I'm still not 100% sold on him. Like, unpopular opinion, but he's yet to play a decent team, so it'd be interesting to see how he goes against, I don't know, like a Carlton or something. But yeah, Flanders has to go. I could even keep Cogs in the middle and turn Flanders into Zeeble. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'll make a video later in the week about that. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know in the comments how you went and what carnage you had to endure so that I'm not alone. And yeah, hopefully it's a better week next week with no donuts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.